Fellow Toastmasters. My name is Carlos Campos. I'm going to tell you an unbelievable true story that I guarantee will amaze you and inspire you to believe that anyone can achieve their goals and dreams if, I want to emphasize if, they have enough desire and determination to overcome all the obstacles that they will face and must overcome to have any chance of achieving their goals and dreams. My story involves my father's brother's daughter, Lupita Quintanilla, my first cousin. They lived in Mexico. When Lupita was 11 years old, her father not only divorced her mother, but he kidnapped her, and she never saw her mother again. He moved to Matamoros, Mexico, which is just across the border from Brownsville, Texas. He got a job as an airline loading luggage. When his daughter Lupita was 13 years old, he immigrated to America and moved Lupita and her stepmother to Brownsville, Texas, as he got a better paying job at another airline. They put Lupita in school, but because Lupita could not speak or read English, she got a 0 on the aptitude test. They then told her father they thought she was mentally retarded and would have to put her in the first grade. I must say, Lupita was a very mature-looking, beautiful girl. She did not look like a 13-year-old, which made her being in the first grade look more out of place. She was humiliated as all the kids stared and laughed at her because she looked so out of place and could not speak English. Her only function was to take out the trash and walk the kids to the bathroom. She begged her father every day to not make her go to school. After a couple of weeks, he finally gave in and let her drop out of the first grade. She got married at 16 and had 3 kids. She was very happy being a good traditional wife and mother. But she had dreams and hopes for her children, as she did not want them to be first grade dropouts. When they were in high school, she noticed that their children were in trade school classes, auto mechanics, carpentry. In those days, they put most Hispanic kids in those trade classes. She went to the school and demanded that the principal put her children in normal classes as her kids were going to go to college. The principal had to get an interpreter because he did not speak Spanish and told her with an ugly tone that her kids were not college prospects because they could not speak good English, because she could not speak any English, and told her to come back when she learned to speak English. He also told her that first grade dropouts' children do not go to college. She decided to learn to speak English, and she heard she could go to the hospital where at night they taught English to nurses from Mexico. She would be allowed to sit in the back of the class. She also learned, as she was learning English, she was told that she should and could get her GED if she passed an exam. So she studied and studied and eventually got her GED. She then decided to give college a try and went to the local junior college, but the admissions director told her she felt she was wasting her time and money because there was a big difference between passing a GED test and college classes. But she was persistent, so we agreed to let her take one class. Remember, everything she did to learn English, get her GED, go to junior college was done at night after she did her family obligations to her husband and children. The bottom line is she eventually got her associate in arts degree with straight A's. She then decided to go after her bachelor's degree, but there was only a junior college in Brownsville, so she had to get a ride to Pan American University, now part of the UT system, which was 75 miles away. So at night, 3 days a week, she went to Pan American and eventually got her Bachelor of Science degree with a biology major. She made straight A's, had a 4.0 GPA. Her husband, a blue-collar dental technician, then moved the family to Houston as he got a better paying job. Lupita then went to the University of Houston and got her master's degree. And then she got her PhD. Yes, I said PhD. And soon became head of the Spanish department. Yep, she went from first grade dropout to PhD. Amazing. By the way, her 3 children not only all graduated from college, but one became a medical doctor and the other 2 became lawyers. She has written many books, and stories have been done about her in almost every magazine you can think of, from Reader's Digest to Time magazine. And when a family was killed in a fire because the firemen and police officers could not speak Spanish, she got the idea to start teaching police officers basic Spanish. So she started a business and turned it into $1 million business. And she got contracts with police departments all over America. She also got hired by the U.S. Department of Defense, the U.S. Department of Justice, the Secret Service, and many sheriff departments and 18 law enforcement agencies that covered the Pan American Games. And in 1984, President Reagan made her the first Hispanic assistant ambassador to the United Nations. She then got into real estate and now owns over $20 million of houses, condos in Houston, Galveston, and Bel Air. She's been named one of 20 women named as Woman of the Century, and there's a permanent exhibit at the Smithsonian Institute National Museum of Women honoring her. She also became an international, extremely popular, constantly in demand motivational speaker who could not keep up with her demand. I could say more, but I'll close with what I find to be humorous. Her daughter, the lawyer, was a cheerleader at the University of Houston, and her boyfriend of 5 years, Billy, was on the football team. But Lupita felt that her daughter could do better than a blue-collar football player. So she tried to persuade her daughter to dump Billy and get a more dignified and intelligent boyfriend. But her daughter would not dump her love, Billy. When the possibility of marriage came up, that was the straw that broke the camel's back, and Lupita kicked into high gear. So when her son, the doctor, had some medical school friends over one night, she studied them for possible prospects for her daughter. And she found a cardiologist resident who came from a wealthy family in New Orleans. They are now married, been married over 30 years, have 3 children, and are living the American dream. Only Lupita could have pulled that off. That might have been her most impressive accomplishment. I thank you for your time.